Hello, good morning, friends. Thanks for joining me once again. There have been quite a few matches that have been completed after the India Pakistan match, so let's walk through those matches. Australia versus Sri Lanka was one of them, where of course Australia was expected to win after their debacle against New Zealand, and they did it with ease. And you could see the hurry with which Maxwell and Starlis completed the chase because they knew they were much behind the net run rate. They lost by around 89 runs against New Zealand, so they had to catch up a lot in terms of net run rate. So that's why you could see Starlis scoring some 17 ball 50, and then they finished the match in about 16 overs. So that's one. And then another big upset. Irish team defeated the English by just 5 runs in Duckworth Lewis method. I don't know. There is a bit of rivalry between Irish and the English. So whenever there is a World Cup match between them, this is the second time that Irish have defeated the English team in a World Cup. So if you could remember the 2011 World Cup, that's a 50 over format which happened in India. Ireland defeated England in big ranches. It's about 330 runs. That's where Kevin O'Brien scored a brilliant century. So Ireland defeated England again, which is a bit of upset for England. So in a way that would help Australia because they would be on even points. South Africa, again there is a relationship between South Africa and rain, particularly in World Cup matches. South Africa and Zimbabwe match got abandoned midway. I mean, South Africa were very close to chasing the total down, but maybe another over, Quinton de Kock would have scored those remaining 13-14 runs, and South Africa would have got 2 points, but that was not the case to be. This is the third time, as I said, South Africa, you all would remember the 1992 World Cup when South Africa returned to the cricketing fold after a long hiatus. And then that's when the Duckworth Lewis played a role, and South Africa was asked to score 22 runs off 1 ball. That was the first instance. And in 2003 World Cup that happened in South Africa, their own home soil, and they lost a match against Sri Lanka where rain interrupted and they just lost by 1 run, and then because of that failed to qualify for the semi-finals. So hopefully this time this rain curtailed or the rain abandoned match does not impact South Africa. You could see the frustration of South Africans. I mean, Bangladesh had to bear the brunt of the South African frustration where Riley Rousseau scored a brilliant century and South Africa defeated Bangladesh by over 100 runs. Just a point on Riley Rousseau. If some of you all are aware, Rousseau actually started his career with South African team a few years back, and then he went to the English by signing the Kolpak contract. So Kolpak contract is a 3-year cricketing contract, which most South Africans would prefer to sign because that gives them a better revenue. But the terms and conditions are such that if someone signs a Kolpak contract, they will not be considered for the national selection in South African team. And that's why players like Wayne Parnell and Riley Rousseau and a few Merchant DeLong and a few other players went to Kolpak. And yes, Wayne Parnell has also returned to the main fold now after completing his Kolpak contract deal. And in fact, that's when players like Rassie van der Dussen grabbed his opportunity in the absence of Rousseau. But it's so unfortunate that Rassie had to miss out due to injury in this World Cup. I mean, I'm just imagining the Rassie-Rousseau combination and how dangerous it would have been for the opposition if those two played together. So that's on South Africa. Of course, India-Netherlands match, India did win comfortably, so no big surprise on that one. But the biggest upset so far has been Zimbabweans defeating Pakistan by just 1 run. Pakistan were very much in the chase. Of course, it was a low-scoring effort, so Pakistan should have completed that much earlier. I mean, they shouldn't have left it for the last over. 2 things I got reminded of on this Pakistan team and this particular match. So as far as this team is concerned, this looks to be more heavily reliant on the top 3, Babar Azam, Mohammad Rizwan and Shan Masood. They have to click, and if they fail to click, Pakistan is in danger of losing the match. And this is the same thing that happened with India in until the 2019 World Cup, the 50 over World Cup, where one of Shikhar Dhawan, Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli would score a century in every match. And if in a rare occasion of all three failing together, India struggled to win the match, and that's exactly what happened in the semi-finals against New Zealand. The other match that I got reminded of from this Zimbabwe-Pakistan match is the one that India defeated Bangladesh in the T20 World Cup in 2016, because Bangladesh had their match on hand with last 3 balls remaining and just 2 runs to win, but they went on to lose 3 wickets in the subsequent 3 balls and then lost by 1 run. The same thing happened when Pakistan just needed 4 of 4 and then 3 of 3, but then they just couldn't pull it off. They just lost by 1 run. So lots of eerie similarities between the matches that are happening in this World Cup and the ones that happened in the past. So let's keep watching. Now this puts the in a situation where Pakistan have to win all the remaining matches and hope the results of other matches turn in their favor. In fact, Zimbabwe and South Africa are even in terms of points. So the matches between South Africa, Pakistan, India, South Africa, India, Zimbabwe, and those matches bear a significance because the results of those matches would decide who are going to be the top 2 in that group. So let's wait and watch. And today we have the England-Australia mini Ashes match coming up. So I'll catch you up again later in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.